It's holiday season, and that means there are stockings to be stuffed and elves to be cuffed. Well, today's sponsor, Manscaped, has gone global with the tools to guarantee you will score under the tree and the mistletoe. Manscaped is the leader in men's below-the-waist grooming, and they have served more than 4 million men worldwide. If my math is correct, that's almost 8 million balls. Get 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com with the code TAGS, TAGS.
It takes a lot of ingredients to fix or build a car, like cooking, but without the frozen dinner easy way out. eBay Motors has 122 million parts. It's always the right fitment, so you can follow any recipe to a T. Whether it's a vintage Italian coupe that's classic like Grandma's meatballs or a German luxury car that's as complicated as Oma's rouladen, to cook up something great in the garage, use the eBay Motors app or visit ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Holidays are here, and so is fashionable fitness. Gift yourself a Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G, a phone that folds in half to literally stand on its own. Pair it with the Galaxy Watch 4 for ultimate wellness and wow factor. Check health stats, flex personal records. Over 90 activities can be tracked, like biking, swimming, golfing, and more. Invest in yourself with tech made to crush goals. Holidays open up with Galaxy. Shop it all at Samsung.com. 5G connection and availability may vary. Check with carrier. Products sold separately.
What is going on? You are listening to TAGSPodcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the podcast. This is episode 323, and I'm your host, Steve V, alongside Jeremy Ross Lopez. How the hell are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great as we record this Monday evening ahead of its Tuesday release. Joining us, of course, is Kodi, Maurice, Doggette. Hello, darling.
Yes, we better be in sync. Okay.
We gotta beat you to it there. My goodness. Happy Monday, like I said, when we record this. So much to talk about on this episode. Let's just get right into it. Let's start with the good, because then there's for every good yin, there's a yang. Let's start with And Just Like That, the Sex and the City reboot. Oh my gosh. I did not, you guys, watch it immediately. I think it dropped on Thursday or of last week. I can't remember. I watched it. Yeah, I watched it Friday or Saturday. And can I just say, from the moment it began, tears were rolling down my eyes, and over like silly things too. Aww. It was just, I'm not going to give away. We just talked offline, and Jeremy hasn't watched it yet, but you will. You have somebody gave you a spoiler about something, right?
Yes.
Which I mean, I don't know if we could talk about it on the show. I hope people have watched it already.
I feel like we should wait. I feel like
hold on, guys. The spoilers are everywhere. They are everywhere.
Oh, I guess everyone will figure out who dies.
Yeah, come on. It happens in the first episode. I feel like we can talk about it.
Oh, it does? I didn't know it was in the first episode. That's even worse.
Well, and so, we're just going to say it. Hopefully, press pause right now and pick up or go forward for a second. I'll give you a beat.
Perfect.
Okay. If you watched it, don't be late. Obviously, we learn early on that Big dies. But Jeremy, I have to tell you that it's a really great homage. They do a really good job of tying everything where they've been, the three women, where the fourth one, Samantha, has been addressed. We won't tell you how they address it, but really all the elephants in the room. And also does a great job of introducing these new characters, all of them of which I can't wait to learn more about, because they're not superfluous, they're not extra, they are like as if it was today, and like all your friends, we lose some friends as time goes by. I felt like I was watching kind of my life in a lot of ways, because I am not shy of moving on from friendships that don't suit me anymore. And Carrie is a podcaster now. I'm
I
like, am I watching
know.
like my storyline?
She
It was
came for our
so.
gig for real.
She came for our gig. I know. It was super fun to see that and getting that elephant in the room. The Samantha and Big sets the stage, at least the big part, on the season to come. The next, I guess, 8 episodes, and I cannot wait. But tears were full. Kodi, what were your thoughts?
So the second episode is where the tears came, and people will just have to watch it. But again, like you, I got really enraptured in the new characters that were coming up, and we have to talk offline about what we think about these new characters and where this is going. Nicole Ari Parker was
Black
amazing.
Charlotte.
Oh my god! Well, that maybe pissed me off a little bit because like black characters should be able to stand on their own, and she was
Yeah,
the white character.
thank you for
But
what? Thank you for saying that because I did cringe a hot second,
yeah,
and I don't know why I was cringing, but it didn't. I was like, ha ha ha! Ha. I know I should probably be laughing, but why am I cringing inside? So you know what? You settled that for me. Thank you.
thank you. You're welcome. Well, but I hope that is the last joke that they make, like it's back in the 90s, because that sounds like a
Thank
90s
you.
joke.
Oh, I also saw House of Gucci on Friday, which was amazing.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah,
Lady
so
Gaga.
Jared Leto's in it, and I had no idea it was him, and he was
Hello,
amazing
yeah.
too.
You can
wow.
just see the makeup job that they did on
Yeah, I
him.
didn't see any of that before, so I didn't even know that it was him. And then when I watched the credits, I'm like, where was Jared Leto? And then I like Googled and found out that he was the one in the prosthetics, and also Al Pacino was actually really good in it as well.
Oh,
Definitely,
what a
right.
great cast.
definitely significantly older, but he was very
Right.
good still.
Well, that was one of the things that some people are saying about, and just like that, some people are like, "Oh, they look old," and it's well, they are older. I think
Right.
is the
Yeah.
whole thing, and this is we guess. Note to self: we're going to be talking a little bit about body image a little bit later on the show, but guess what, guys? We age, and
Right.
it's. I mean, it's not the '90s anymore.
It's
No one's
human nature.
human nature. And but the ladies on and just like that, to me, they look great. What did you
They
think,
look
Kodi?
fantastic. I thought they looked fantastic. The thing that kind of like is kind of weird to me is Joe. I watched the first episode with Joe. He had never seen a single episode of Sex in the City.
Drop your mic right now.
I
Like, what?
know. I was like, oh my
That
God, I have
is
to tell
crazy.
Steve as soon as possible.
So let me just get this straight. Your boyfriend, Joe,
Yes.
who you met in the
Yes.
pandemic, who I adore, I will preface that, has never been to a Broadway show. Mind you, is from New Jersey, so a hop, skip, and a jump, and
He might be
never
from
saw
Amish
Sex in the
country.
City.
I know,
And
right?
never. That is like, sit him down this weekend or Christmas break and take him to a Broadway show and binge. Oh, like Jeremy just said offline, if you just turn on E, it's on like nonstop. So
I also really actually like the older episodes better than the newer ones. I
Right?
do really love all of them for the fashion because they just like Carrie's outfits are incredible all the time, as well as like Charlotte's are pretty and prissy, and they're all just dressed so well. But the storylines are, in my opinion, so much more in depth at the beginning.
Yeah.
So it really helps to go back to like the older episodes, and they are so New York. If you've ever lived in a major city, they really touch on so many aspects of like sex and life living in a big city.
yeah, I have to say the old ones, that's what I really loved about, and just like that, is that the movies were fun. At least the first one was super fun. The second one had some missteps, as we were talking offline, although the fashion, as you mentioned, was amazing. But I do think when you get used to a show that's episodic, that's kind of that drama and leaves you on a cliffhanger, and then you're salivating for the next episode, is what you get in And Just Like That. I want to know more, and I can't wait for the episodic to play out throughout the season. And I think based on what we saw at the first 2 episodes with the new characters, we're going to get some really juicy modern day, you know, they're in their 50s and they're where they're at, but a lot of the people surrounding them are finally there's Black people and Latinos and we're going to turns
And
out they do
queer
exist.
characters too.
Like they were never living in the
They
world.
always had queer characters, but a lesbian character.
They always said, yeah. And so I think that's going to be really, they did one thing that I'm just going to throw out there. It's not that big of a deal, but it was with the character of Big and Carrie, where she's on a podcast and they talk about masturbation and they ask Carrie if she's ever masturbated before and what's her experience with that. And she's kind of prudish to it all. And they tell her to step up her pussy.
You're not going to make us answer that
if you want to stay, if you want to stay on the podcast. And so she goes home and there's this great scene that I was like, oh my God, I'm kind of embarrassed.
I know.
She asks, hopefully you watched it, Jeremy, it's not that big of a deal since you already know it. But for the sake of our show here, and I want to get your guys' opinion on would you do this or not? Because I don't know if I would. Maybe now I would, but the old Steve would not. The Steve V today would. But she asks Big if she's like, do you masturbate? And he's like, whoa, is this a trick question? And he's sitting in bed reading like a book before bed. And she's like, no, seriously. He's like, do you masturbate? And she says, I do. And so she says, will you masturbate for me in front of, and he's like, are you going to join me? She says, no, I just want to watch. And so it's that weird, awkward moment of somebody doing something for somebody they love, but that's normally a private moment that you do on your own, that now you're kind of on camera. And I thought it was handled so well. What did you think, Kodi, of that moment? And B, would you do this in front of Joe?
I thought that was amazing, and it just showed how explorative everybody is getting and how it is just, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was handled so well. You couldn't see anything, but I felt eroticized when I watched it a little bit, and like I was a voyeur. All of the feelings came to me in that moment. And I would do it, and I was going to do it today in front of him, but then
but we had to record this show.
But then I had to come to record this show. So
damn it.
I'll let you know how it goes when I do masturbate in front of him.
Yeah, it's interesting, Jeremy, because the old me definitely is. I've had so many moments. I kind of relate to Carrie a lot because throughout the years of my life, I've been out there like go-go dancer and been out in the leather community. And then at the same time, I've also been kind of prudish, which is weird. But I think the new me now has dropped a lot of the showman of my personality, and I'm just more real. I think maybe it's turning 50. I don't know, but I'm much more likely if I was to be with somebody, and I would, if they asked that, or it was an assignment, a sex assignment, I would do it actually, and kind of probably put on a good show and show them something. Would you, Jeremy? Yeah. And what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I think it's kind of like strange to be watched, and I don't know if I would like it, but I would definitely do it for my partner. But
like if they asked you, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I'd also want them to like join in rather than just like not do anything and watch.
Right, because essentially masturbation is, I'm not sure if it's a Latin word or not, but it's really a solo act, typically, the way we think about it. But I think what I used to have so many problems with, and maybe the character of Carrie does, is that you said something, Kodi, we've come so far on sex positivity and where we are at. Even like, say, if you were to talk about this in the 90s, they were a show about one of the premiere shows about sex positivity. Yes, but the whole idea of masturbation is, ooh, I don't do that. And it's my little secret when I do, and if I do, and what I masturbate to. that now I think in 2021 it's like, yeah, I do, and it's not
Yeah.
change
Just ex-
people's mindset.
yeah, just explore who you are and what you like. I think that's amazing. Me personally, I Jeremy, I get where you're coming from, but I really love to have people watching me. I don't like to be recorded because then it's like there in celluloid for posterity for everybody to see from Kingdom Come. But if somebody is there in the room watching me masturbate, that nothing turns me on more than that. I love it.
Well, let me ask you this, because I think with any new relationship I would have in the future, I would probably do this assignment of, you tonight, I'm going to masturbate for you. And then another time, and maybe join in towards the end, but at least do a little bit. Maybe don't come, right? Or maybe, I don't
Ooh.
know. Well, like, I'm making all this up. However, and the reason why I just thought about it, it dawned on me, is I would not want somebody to walk in on me masturbating. That to me was mortification. And I've always had a fear of, oh shit. And we've all masturbated before in another room where somebody is in the other room, that you would be mortified, right? If they happen to like
Yeah.
walk in on you. I think I would probably do this assignment with a partner, because at least they would already see that. And if in the future they walked in on me, oh, I forgot my keys, it would be like, haha, I was just doing that thing that you saw. Remember when you saw me do it on the assignment night? Yeah, just doing that. It- I would not want them to walk in on me for the first time ever and be like, oh, is this what you do?
Mhm.
The second I walk out the door,
I think
you
it
know what
depends
I'm
on who
saying?
it is. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying though. Like
Yeah.
if it was my roommate, oh my god, no, I'd be mortified. But if it's my boyfriend, like I'm all about that. I'm here for it. And
Walking in on you.
yes, come and watch, baby. The show is on. Get ready. The
So you
greatest
have
show
a
on
lot
earth.
of work to do with Joe. You've got a Broadway show, you've got to watch Sex and the City from the beginning, and there's 900 seasons, and you've got to masturbate in front of him as well. So
All before
scared of
the end of the
you.
year.
All before the end of the year. Report back. Okay.
Got
Well,
it.
lots to watch. Happy that everyone's participating in it. Watch it for yourselves. Well, okay. Hey guys, your buddy Steve V here of Tags Podcast. Still looking for that intimate gift to give to your partner, boyfriend, husband, or that new friend of yours? Or maybe you just want to treat yourself because of the year we've had. Well, I have got the gift for you. All you got to do is go to adamstoybox.com, where they have every single toy under the sun and things you didn't even think of to please yourself this holiday season and into 2022, as well as your partner, boyfriend, lover. You can get 25% off right now on the entire site. Simply go to adamstoybox.com and use our special promo code TAGS21. It's only good to the end of the year. So while you've been either naughty or nice, go to adamstoybox.com and take advantage of the 25% discount. Use the code TAGS21. Again, it's adamstoybox.com. Next story, I'm just skipping ahead to this because let's just keep with the fun ones. There is a wrestler that is getting ready for a competition. I'll post this on tagspodcast.com. It's really sexy. And it must be like Eastern Europe or somewhere like that. And he's there. You know how in wrestling you have to weigh in.
Mhm.
So he's putting on his Lycra one piece bodysuit, and it's just this amazing video of all of them standing in line to stand on the scale. And he's got a hard on. And I know this
Oh.
because as a gymnast, we used to have to wear these 1 unit leotard things, and we'd put our sweats over it because the whole thing is about having clean lines.
Mhm.
And theirs is the same way. And he steps on the scale, and you can, when he puts up the tank top portion of the unitard or whatever it's called, you can see he's hard. And it's kind of one of those things that it's weird because the video then shows him kind of just stroking it as he gets off the scale.
No
But
way.
but just because, but it's one of those things that you can't always help, right? And I don't know, have you ever had a moment, Jeremy, where you got hard and it was an inconvenient time?
Yeah, definitely a moment where you have to rearrange for sure. But I just always point it upwards, and then it like makes it less obvious if that happens, and you're like out in public, or you're like need to push it to the side, and I just pull my shirt over or whatever I'm wearing. Hopefully, there's something that can hide it. The
Yeah.
hardest is in a bathing suit, like
Well,
at the beach
Oh
with
my God.
people. Like
Sure.
that's like the one place where you really can't hide it, and
no, and that's what
it's
this guy's going through because it's essentially a leotard. One,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
you can't.
that's the
Yeah,
most difficult, like board trunks for sure.
yeah. I'll never forget in gymnastics years ago. I was like a junior, and this other teammate on my team was a senior in high school, and our gymnastic team and this other gymnastic team merged. And when we did, we got all these new gymnasts, and one of them was this guy that was really good, and he was really sexy, but kind of like he liked music like The Cure
Mm-hmm.
and all that kind of stuff. And I liked it too, and I really kind of had a thing for him. But we got into like this thing that either boys get into, of like at the end of the practice, I would poke him or tease him or hit him, and then we would run around the gym and wrestle.
Oh.
And we were both into it. Was just this whole thing, like, and I would provoke him because I think inside I knew, oh, we're going to get into this wrestling moment and it's going to be really hot. And I'll never forget one time I was turned on by the whole experience and praying that he didn't touch that or see that, because that would have been like the mortification thing. And fortunately, he did not. But it gave me a lot of those early teen years of masturbation too, because it was like in this storyline, wrestling, and it's a contact sport, and that is friction, and that's gonna, it's just hot. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah. And the other time I can think of is when I went to this past summer. I talked about it before. I went to my first ever naked beach and just took a walk and let it like flow. And I did get a little bit excited. I just couldn't help it. But as talking to everybody, everyone's like, that's what happens. It's no big deal. The more you make a big deal out of it, the more it is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
so
agree.
I just kind of got used to it. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? Have you ever had a malfunction incident, Kodi?
A wardrobe malfunction?
Yeah,
Yes.
or a naked malfunction?
I
Maybe
can
it's
think
not
of
a malfunction. It's actually like a good thing, right?
right? Yeah, I think it is because I think that the more, like you said, the more that you make a big deal out of it, the more awkward the situation becomes. And as far as like, have I had them? Yes, I'm a human male. I went through my hormonal stage when I was a teenager. It happens now. If the wind blows the wrong way, I get an erection now. So I know that I've had those moments, but I think that they have become less and less embarrassing for me because, like Jeremy said, I know how to hide them better now, and I don't care as much. Also,
Yeah, sometimes in a massage, I'll get, but if it's like a gay resort and maybe the masseur it's not like a sex massage, but it's still like, I was in P-Town over the summer and it was definitely a gay masseur, and he was massaging me and he was going like deep into my growing area to massage the psoas area and like really going in there. And I got totally hard. And he complimented me though after it though.
oh,
He said, I just have
oh,
he said, I just have to tell you have a beautiful cock. And I just
he
had to
knew
say,
what he was doing. Then come
but he
on,
was
Steve.
respectful. And I was like, why didn't you act on it then? Damn it.
He's waiting for the go ahead from you. I think.
Maybe. I can't wait to go back next summer and revisit, but we'll see. But it reminded me too, because recently Colin Farrell, you guys know the actor Colin Farrell.
Yes.
Yeah.
was spotted running around Hollywood on a jog, like in short running shorts, free balling it. And I don't know, in theory, I love a free balling moment, and I want to start wearing looser underwear and looser because I do think it lets everything hang a lot better instead of, I'm usually a tighty whitey, but I could not go on a jog or to the gym as we see some of these people like Colin or others free balling it at the gym, free balling it going on the jog. That would definitely make me hard, and I would be so self-conscious that are people seeing it? What's going on? And what's your thoughts on free balling, Jeremy?
So I pick and choose when I do, but for the most part, like with jeans, I never wear any underwear, but I tend to wash my clothes more because I wear no underwear.
Right.
So
Good point.
Yeah, so I like, just for cleanliness reasons, I not because I'm like busting 20 loads in my jeans or whatever, or
No, but
like getting swamp ass all the time, but just in general, I do laundry often, so like I'll only wear something either once or twice when it's jeans. But if I wear like sweatpants, it depends on the thickness of them. But if I'm like around family or whatever, I tend to put like boxer briefs on under them, and it's always dependent on what I'm wearing on top as well. So how obvious my crotch is just in general, because I don't enjoy it like hanging around and people being able to look at it, especially if I'm with like cousins or family and
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
But
I can see
for
that.
jeans, I honestly never wear any underwear, and I also just feel more comfortable like that. And when you have like a big ass and big hips, underwear is very restricting. So for me, with jeans that have stretch in them, they're just comfortable and hold everything in already, that I don't feel the like necessity of wearing underwear.
You bring up so many good points, and I think I've just been doing the same tidy whitey type thing forever, unless it's
Mhm.
jockstrap night, y'all. But still, I'm used to that cuppage, and it's
Yeah.
my security blanket, if you will. It's my Linus. I've always ran around in those. However, I notice whenever I just let it just kind of, if I take a shower and I'm just want to air out and just be free, or at night if I take a shower and I'm going to watch a little TV, I don't want to put those on. And I noticed like my tool and my tool everything hangs
Yeah.
lower, and it's nice, and maybe I need to let it breathe a little bit more. And however, but to your other point, Jeremy, about if you don't, on Halloween I didn't wear anything and just wore this ape leather apron, and
Mhm.
my legs and we're dancing or rubbing up against, and not that I got funky, but I just got, you sweat more down there, and there is a
Yeah.
purpose to underwear, people. And so
Mhm.
it's an absorbing material that, if you're going to go down on somebody, is not going to smell funky. What are your thoughts, Kodi?
I agree with you guys. I love the cuppage and I love to feel secure. So I very rarely go commando, but there are times when I feel that it's imperative to go commando. Nothing is hotter to me than to see somebody commando when they're jogging or at the gym. I think that is the hottest time to go commando, and especially if like the shorts are thin. It's like a thin short that I like to wear and not wear any underwear with it, because I just think it's so sexy and so erotic and sexual. So Joe hates it.
Super erotic. Super erotic, super sexy, and I give more power. Keep doing it because we love looking at it. I just don't know that I'm the guy for it, but
Hey.
I'm definitely here for it. Ho ho ho, gents! Naughty or nice, 'tis the season to perform. That's right. This is the season that you want to gift your man or a friend Manscaped. Why? Because they have the Performance Package 4.0. I couldn't think of a better gift to give somebody, whether it's a boyfriend, if you're in a long-standing relationship, maybe they've gotten a little lapse on trimming below the belt. This is something that's going to be the spa moment of your relationship. They are going to thank you. Before Manscaped, put it off. And then I would buy these disposable razors and it would nick myself. Along comes Manscaped, and now I have the proper tools that make it so easy when I jump in the shower on a Thursday, Friday night, and I'm like, oh, shit, I forgot to Manscape. This makes it so easy to keep up to par with your junk down under. And you just can do it in the shower because everything is waterproof. The nose and hair trimmer, the weed whacker, do it right before you get in the shower. It just makes it so easy and makes for perfect gifts. Well, Manscaped's best-selling product is the Performance Package 4.0, which is at the top of every man's wish list this year, or should be, right? Inside, you'll find their lawnmower body trimmer, the best trimmer in the market for your balls, butt, and body, and the weed whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer. And let's not forget their infamous liquid formulations. I'm talking about the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner to maximize your ball hygiene routine. Get the Performance Package now to receive their 2 free gifts, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. And now, these are our picks for Manscaped Surefire Wind Stocking Stuffers. Number 1, the Manscaped Signature Cologne. Number 2, Shears 2.0 Luxury 4-Piece Nail Kit. Number 4, Crop Mops Ball Wipes for your stanky balls. Yep. And coming in at number 4, the Crop Reviver. I love this one. Ball, toner, and refresher. Small enough to fit in a stocking, big enough to change a man's life. Make sure you hurry to their site to ensure these wild gifts show up before the holiday season. And while you're at it, get 20% off plus free shipping by going to manscaped.com with the code TAGS, TAGS. Whether this is for your partner, dad, brother, friend, get them something that they will actually use, and it's almost sure to get a laugh. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code TAGS, TAGS. Be the ballsiest gift giver this year with Manscaped. All right, nice. I wanted to get your guys' input on a recent Reddit thread. And the title is New to Dating Scene. Is this normal nowadays? So they write, to make a long story short, I just started dating again after being out of a 10-year relationship, which ended about a year ago. So far, I have gone on a few interesting dates, but I'm finding every guy wanting to become, quote, official quickly after that date. I just feel after one date and a week or two of random texts back and forth does not justify me being a boyfriend after that first date. I am open and honest about what I am looking for, and I am taking things slow. Is this just how it is? My first thoughts on that is no. I mean, well, first of all, I intend to meet guys out and about, and it's more like a hookup thing. And recently, whenever they might spend the night over and we might have good intentions of getting together if I liked their company, at least in that hookup night, right? But 9 times out of 10, it's just a wham bam and people kind of move on, in my world at least. And it took a recent experience that I had with a guy that went home with him, and apparently it was great, and I'm going to caveat that with a second. I ran into him in Puerto Vallarta, where this guy came up to me and said, "Hey, Steve," and I was like, "Hi," and he's like, "You don't remember me?" And I'm like, "No, I do." Ooh. No, I don't. But it was just so random. And in Puerto Vallarta, right? And so I was like, no. And I definitely, the more he was talking, I'm like, I recognize his face, but I couldn't remember. Well, I looked back at our text because he said, I'll text you and let's get together, which we did in Puerto Vallarta, and we're going to hang out.
Hold on 1 second. Pause. You didn't ask him to pull his pants down first so you could remember him?
Hold on a second. Let me clarify something. And then what I realized,
It may not be that memorable.
Yeah, right. What I realized was after going, because he then texted me, he kept mine and said he listens to the show, which I was like, oh, okay, here we go. You know more about me than I know about you. But then I thought, God, no. Then I started questioning myself. Oh my God, did I blank out? This is scary. When I replayed and looked at where we ended the text, it was a one night in July of this summer.
Mm-hmm.
He said, great to meet you. And I said, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Let's hang out soon. When I say to somebody on a text, yeah, that was a lot of fun, you can fill in what that meant. We weren't at Disneyland, okay? But there were fireworks. And so I clearly, and we had made a tentative plan to get together on one day. Then on another text, he said, can we postpone this to the weekend? And I said, how about Sunday? He said, Sunday's great. He never followed up after that text. And I remember that I left it in his court because I thought, okay, you had to postpone it, which is fine. I said Sunday, you said great. To me, it was your job to then follow up, right?
I agree. That's
he
protocol.
didn't.
Yeah.
Cut to Puerto Vallarta, and hey, you don't remember me? It's like, I put you out of my mind. But I pieced it together and remembered we did have a good time. I did enjoy the conversation. And I guess for me, it took seeing him in another country, and we are getting together this Thursday. I will report back. And the funny thing is, I don't know if now it's going to be on a friendship kind of thing, or if that, because I was with my sister and she's like, do you like him? I said, yeah, he's really cute. And so we'll see. But I am going to tell him about this, that, you dropped the ball, just FYI, which I'm totally fine with, but just so you know, you dropped the ball. Glad we're picking it up, and
hold on to it.
See. But I guess, Jeremy, to this guy, do you notice guys in the dating scene are quick to want to make somebody that they barely met or went on one date with a boyfriend? Or what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think that is the case. I think it could also be like just the fact that I think everyone is like people crazy and enjoying the fact that things are loosening up and just getting out there and meeting new people and stuff. So I think that could be a reason why some people more than others are clingy and may want to just have more of a connection and stuff. It could be the case.
Yeah. I agree too. I think the pandemic, two things to what you said. I think the pandemic in general, of just being cooped up, and now we're just clamoring for any kind of contact. And we were going to talk about this a little bit, which we didn't get to, but just how, if you look at the COVID cases, it's like, oh God, are we really going backwards? When is this ever going to be over? Today I was talking to a neighbor and I put my mask on just to go up the elevator because I feel like we're kind of back in that a little bit, but not really. It's just, so yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. But on the other hand, maybe it's the thing about gay relationships sometimes is 3 years is like, 10-year anniversary if you can make it to that. And so maybe there's that thing like, we got to get it going and not waste any time, because in gay land, it's much quicker.
Yeah.
It's like dog years. But well, with you, Kodi, you said in your first date that Joe was like sauce on ribs with you.
Did I say that?
You said sauce on ribs.
No, I did. I'm just joking. Yes, I did say that.
I love that quote.
And I meant that he was all over me, like, as far as
we get it.
Okay. I was like,
did you understand what sauce on ribs means?
Of course.
Yeah, I love how he's like, what I meant was,
wait a minute, girl.
We got it. And I think I love it.
Yes,
he kind of falls. So I guess my point is, Kodi, is that in this case, that Joe was like sauce on ribs all over you and, quick, but it worked out for you guys.
So he was sauce on ribs as far as we connected physically very early on. It was the first date we had sex, okay? But as far as us progressing our relationship, our emotional relationship, making sure that calling ourselves boyfriends, that took a while to grow. And I think that everybody is different and it depends on what you're looking for in the moment. I don't know if we were either of us were looking for a boyfriend at that time, but I think that we met each other and it was undeniable at that point. And I think we didn't call each other boyfriends for until about 3 or 4 months. So it was some time. It wasn't 2 dates and you're mine and lock it down, put a ring on it. It wasn't like that.
So this person might be right that some people are, because really when you think about it, I also talk to a lot of my straight hetero female friends, and I've been in this case too, where you could be on a great date and be vibing and connecting and, oh, you like that artist? So do I.
Yeah.
You like that? Oh my God, I love oysters too. You like sucking dick? I do too. You know what I'm saying?
You
But
like
I
sauce on
mean,
ribs? I do too.
yeah. Let's not get crazy. But but yeah, and then ghosted. You don't hear anything. And you're
Oh,
like, wait, what
happens
was
all the time.
that? How, like, a lot of my female friends that go on several dates will experience that. So maybe sometimes, it's this weird science. We don't really know what's going on in anybody's life when
Yep.
it's a one slice of life moment, I guess. And you want, if you're vibing, I would just hope that if you're vibing with somebody that, let's both put the energy in to try this again.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't, then I say, it was just a one off and that was it, or it was just hot sex, or turns out they're boring, or, whatever. But I think too many of us give up too quickly. And that's led to maybe this person writing and feeling this need to latch on to everybody, because but I do think that's a real thing too, where people kind of are too fast too quickly. What are your thoughts on that, Jeremy? Do you think because of the pandemic or just even before that?
I think maybe even before that, but I also think it's like on a case by case basis. I feel like it's not something that it's everyone, but I do think it definitely happens because it's happened in the past to me.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But it worked out for you, Kodi, and we're really happy about that. I wanted to tell you guys a quick story. Jeremy, you'll appreciate that do you have many OnlyFans subscriptions current right now?
I don't know, just a few, like maybe 3 or 4.
I've taken your advice to the hilt, where you said you will, to keep it interesting, you'll subscribe to a person that you like, and then immediately, like the second you hit the subscribe button, go to your email and unsubscribe, because they charge you and you get 30 days with that
Right.
person. I recently did this with a person that I knew. He's a relatively known gay porn performer, Raphael Alenkar. Do you guys know him?
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely
he
know
has
who
the
that is.
gigantic ass dick.
He does. We were going to talk about asses earlier in the show, but we skipped it. But he does have that and the giant dick. And I followed him, and I've been loving his content all month long. And when I looked at, the little backstory is, several years ago, before OnlyFans, he offered massages, and I would go. I was like, I could get a massage with Raphael Alenkar. That'd be great. And so I went to Hell's Kitchen and got great. He was like super, super deep massage, and he has a table and all, and it was a massage. For me, inevitably, every single time it ended up in him fucking me, which I love that I paid the massage prices and not the rent boy prices at the time. And it was intense and it was fun. And we would even talk afterwards because he was getting into editing and I was really into editing at that time. So I shared some thoughts on it. And so now I don't think he offers that as much anymore. He has his OnlyFans. And I was like, I should just message him on this. But I noticed my subscription was going to end and you can't message somebody if you're not following them or paying them monthly. So I re-upped my subscription, which it wasn't that much, it's like $9.99, and told him that, hey, I used to see you as a massage client and it was really hot. And if you I put it out there, if you're looking for more models to fuck on camera, I'm here for you. And it was always good. And he said, quote, sure, Steve, I'm sure I could use your hole, and we can do some videos like the ones you see here. ... and I'll fuck you good. ... I bet you look hot.
Wow, love it.
So I had to go to a video of his and masturbate. I would have masturbated in front of you guys just to be able to get this gig. I was like, what?
Bring it full circle.
Bring it. Christmas has come early.
That's right.
And we'll see. I responded. I resubscribed and we'll see. But I need to probably do some practice with my dildo because he has no mercy when he's fucking his bottoms.
It's huge.
That part's okay, but he's like, it's like it's like bam, 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 and you have to be ready for that. Yeah. Look it up, y'all. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I already know. How do you think I learned?
I will keep you guys posted if it goes on from here. But I'm like, yeah, what do I have to lose? Why not? Participate in this. Shoot your shot. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, oh my God, this has been so fun catching up with the two of you as always. Yeah, so much fun. You can always follow my co-host. Follow Jeremy at @JRossLopez. He's celebrating his birthday month. Jeremy, happy belated. Yes. And it's a birthday month, right?
Definitely.
Absolutely. Follow my co-host Kodi Maurice Doggette at his life coaching at KMD Coaching, or his personal account at Mr. Maurice. Follow us at TAGSPodcast. And you guys, in the meantime, continue having hot gay sex. Yes.
Hear that? Is that America cheering or a sausage patty sizzling to perfection? It's time to cheer for Egg McMuffin and fresh cracked eggs at McDonald's. It's time to wake up to the aroma of freshly baked biscuits and treat yourself to a real honest-to-goodness morning meal. Breakfast, it's on at McDonald's. Now get any breakfast sandwich for just $2. Available only through the app. Mobile order and pay available at participating McDonald's. McD app download and registration required.
At ADP, we work with more than 860,000 companies worldwide. That gives us a pretty good idea of how to help businesses grow stronger. Whether it's through data insights that help you make informed decisions about building a team that works better as a team, or by keeping you ahead of thousands of changing regulations so you can keep ahead of everything else. Like building that better team. Grow stronger with ADP. HR, talent, time, and payroll.